5 main reasons why I left YouTube. Not the hobby again. I never left the hobby, guys. There were some changes, some drastic changes of which I had no control over. With everything that was going on with me in my life at that time, I had to break down the reef. Some of you bought my equipment. Some of you bought some of my corals. If you want to come out and say it, I don't mind. Some of you bought my lights. I had to break down the tank. We're going to cover those 5 reasons. And we're going to start with that reason number 1, which is passion, as I mentioned earlier. So the passion part of it was put into the test. It was put to the test. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a video that's going to be half-assed. It's not going to work. If I'm not passionate about releasing a video or talking to you guys about a particular subject, it's not going to work. During that time, with everything that happened, with my mother's passing, me having to take my brother, my handicapped brother in, which made things 1,000 times even more difficult. Because it's not just, okay, so we're going to get into that step by step. Let me not dive off into something that, let's go step by step. Passion. I didn't have that passion. Life is hard. It was hitting me hard at that time. The death of my mom was extremely devastating. And I could have recovered from that. Obviously, we all do if we lose a loved one. But to also have to take in my brother, I had to take a huge leave of absence from my job. I had a city job. Everything was being more difficult for me. And I couldn't tend to the reef. I couldn't tend to the reef. I would be irresponsible if I was to leave the reef running and not be able to tend to it. It's just not, that's not something that's gonna happen with me. I had to take it down, immediately set up a freshwater tank, but it wasn't a planted tank. I really didn't get into planted tanks until about 2017. Passion, number 1. Number 2, the death of my mom. It was devastating. To watch her decline the way she did, and for everyone and their moms to turn their backs on my brother was huge. My mom knew. She knew. She asked me. She was like, don't let anyone put this kid in a home. And I was like, Mom, give him to me. I got him. I got him. Focus on your health and let me take care of Alan. His name is Alan, by the way. He's nonverbal. He has profound intellectual disabilities, and because he is nonverbal, it's that much more difficult for him because he's also unable to express himself at times, and he can't tell me if somebody did something to him or something. So I had to be on top of this like white on rice with the AIDS and everything. The massive things happened. There was neglect, abuse. I had to work, leave him alone here with the AIDS. I even have videos of that. I put cameras around the house. It was an extremely difficult time, but I think God's timing is perfect. I really do. I believe that. It wasn't my time. It was my time to make sure that my brother was good, that he was clean, that he was well taken care of, that he had a roof over his head, that the bills were paid, etc. So reason number 4 is plain and simple, the finances. I just did not have the finances to keep the channel going. Yes, I was making money off of YouTube, but it was only enough to cover the hobby and not the expense behind me trying to set up multiple tanks, which is what I want to do now. So I want to say that, and I want to put it out there. There are 2 systems I want to set up. I want a freshwater tank and I want a reef. And I'm trying to get my hands on these systems and it's been difficult too. The systems are either out of stock or something like that. And if you guys want to work with me and you want to feature your system in my and I believe in your product, I might consider it. And so hit me up, shoot me an email, WhatsApp, whatever. I want to throw that out there too. So that was reason number 4, the finances. Reason number 5. And so last but not least, reason number 5 is a combination of all of that, plus other things that happened to me in my life that really put me to the test. And led me to want to not upload videos again for a while. Initially, I thought it was going to be a short break. It ended up being as long as it did. I'll give you some examples. I went through a horrible fire, and I uploaded a video on that on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen it, you can go see it. I lost 2 tanks in July 3rd of 2007. There was a serious fire. I went through the fire. I went through a divorce. Okay, I was married for 7 years, guys. Yes, and I went through a divorce, and I have a son. My grandmother's passing. She passed away in 2009, and 10 days later, my mom gets diagnosed, and she starts battling, ultimately losing the battle. And so you can tell it hasn't been easy. And it's not an excuse, but I can't give you something half-assed. That's not gonna happen. If I'm gonna give it to you, I'm walking away. I'm not afraid to walk away. I did it before. I'm not gonna do it this time though, because I think it's time for me to come out and share a lot of that passion with you guys. I really think. So many different videos I want to work on. We're gonna cover on the maintenance, and behind this, behind you here, there's a huge tub with water. We're gonna cover how to do a water change, and the maintenance behind this tank, the NewYorkSteelo way. I'm gonna give it to you my way. It's expensive to do it my way, but it's easy. And so why not share my approach, and maybe you could borrow a little bit from it and learn. We're gonna do a lot of videos. We're gonna tear down this tank. We are gonna tear down this tank, which, by the way, let me say this, guys. It is midnight. It is 12:12, and I'm here recording, so the fish are a little inactive. But you can see a lot of changes in the tank, lots of growth. We're gonna cover an update in a future video. Thank you highly for all of the support. You cannot begin to imagine. A lot of you it was hundreds upon hundreds of comments on the Facebook fan page, on YouTube, hundreds of people who say that I inspired them. But let me say this, you inspire me. Without you, I'm nobody. And I can't thank you enough. Because you are making the hobby that much more enjoyable for me. By coming back and accepting me after I left for 10 years. Now that's powerful. I also wanted to add something here. My mom, may she rest in peace. This video's for you. Mom, I'm actually here. I'm on YouTube, and yeah, you always told me to get behind the camera. She took care of my brother for 32 years without the help of an aide. something I can't do. I'm not saying it because she was my mom. I'm saying it because I haven't come across another woman like that. She was special. She dedicated her life to 4 boys. You know, I wanted to also add this to this video. If you're young and you have your mom there with you, do yourself a favor. Go nag her, bother her. Tell her that you love her and tell her how much you appreciate her. You might not get a second chance to do so. And with that being said, this is NewYorkSteelo signing out. Peace.